Dear SpringHill Camp, my name is Justin. This past summer, I was able to attend your paintball camp for 6 days for one of your scholarships. I had the best time of my life.
Mama, I love God.
You love God?
Yeah, I love God.
What makes you say that right now?
Because God makes stuff that are right, and He makes stuff that are cool.
Like what?
Like having a tree party.
Oh, a tree party. Yeah.
Pizza party.
Yeah.
I climb every mountain.
SpringHill, when we entered your campground, as you can see, even my 4-year-old was moved to see God's beauty in nature. My son Justin was very excited for this experience, and I just wasn't expecting to feel God as we walked the campground.
You cause the land to walk. You open lips to talk. You're everything, and that is who you are.
So where we're going first? Stop. Do we have any parents for the Trappers Outpost?
That's me.
All the time, and all the time, we're having fun.
Hey, Justin, you ready?
Yep. When I was walking to my cabin, I was really excited and wondering what fun things he would do. I was ready for anything.
I'm not sure who has the buggy jump in or not. Every single kid, that's how.
For my son, I knew that camp was not just going to be the same experience that normal kids had. For Justin, it was going to be a time for him to be a kid. For 3 years, my son Justin and I and his 4 other siblings have been homeless. We'd been living in our van on a parking lot. My son has had to live under conditions that most parents would dread ever having their children live through. Homelessness. But my son had a disposition where no matter what we went through, he was in my corner. He was always there helping with his little brother. When we moved from our car to a shelter, I knew that his brother, his siblings, they would always be smiling. We went from shelters to tents and staying in a campground because we had nowhere else to go. And Justin, he always made the best out of any situation. And then we ended up in hotels and hoping that things would change. But when we moved to Michigan, we were back in shelter again. And I could see that my son, what I wanted in my heart was for my son to experience some normalcy. He had been a great kid going through so much, and I wanted to give him a chance to be a kid. In the backyard, as he played with his siblings in the backyard of the shelter, I thought to myself, there has to be a way, some way that I could get my son to be able to just enjoy being a kid, because he was always so fun and active. And then I called SpringHill Camp, and on the phone I wanted some information, and I'd asked the lady if there was any way that you all had some type of scholarship programs. So I just didn't want my son to go to any camp. I wanted my son to go to a camp to where everything that we had been through, my son could develop his own relationship with God and know that no matter what place we found ourselves in, or what place he found himself in life, that God was always there and God was constantly seeing us through. And when the lady on the phone said that there was a way for my son to get a scholarship, that moment, I was so happy for him, so excited. And when we went back to pick him up, although I knew that he'd be returning to a homeless situation, I was so happy, so overjoyed that he'd experienced getting away from all of that to just be a kid. And not only just be a kid, but also be able to talk about God. To see God's nature and God's work in that. That made me, as his mom, very, very happy.
SpringHill camp was awesome. I had a lot of fun. I made new friends, and I learned that God loves us no matter what. I just really want to thank you guys for letting me have this great experience. It was awesome.
SpringHill, I just want to thank you for allowing my son to use your scholarship and for developing a scholarship program so that children like my son Justin, who undergo hardships, can have an experience that can change their life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, SpringHill. Justin.